Welcome to the CISM Boardroom Decision Series, where security leaders sharpen judgment, elevate reasoning, and learn to make decisions that withstand pressure, scrutiny, and consequence. Written by M.G. Vance and brought to life through CyberLex Learning. Let's begin. The meeting starts tense. In the room are three senior executives, the CIO, the COO, and the head of operations. They're supposed to align on who owns the cybersecurity risk associated with a major system outage last week. Instead, they're pointing fingers. The CIO speaks first. Operations should own this. My team provides the tools, but they run the process. Operations fires back. No. IT owns the system. We just execute business workflows. The COO cuts in, frustrated. This is why we keep having gaps. Nobody agrees on who owns security risk. You sit quietly for a moment. This is the kind of meeting where silence can be interpreted as agreement, and agreement means taking on someone else's risk. You're the CISM leader in the room, but you're not here to pick a side. You're here to restore governance. You remind yourself, confusion about ownership is a risk. Three choices present themselves. Option A. Assign ownership yourself. Declare which executive owns the risk. Clear, direct, decisive, but likely to create political backlash. And CISM does not unilaterally assign business risk ownership. Option B. Let the executives debate until they reach their own agreement. This avoids conflict, but risks leaving the meeting without clarity, and allows unmanaged risk to persist. Option C. Reframe the conversation. Clarify what type of risk is involved. Explain the principle of ownership follows impact, and guide the executives through a structured decision where they define who owns the risk and why. You breathe. This is where CISM leadership is tested. You choose the governance first path. The correct decision is option C. You guide the room without taking sides. You start by defining the nature of the risk. Operational impact, financial exposure, customer experience, and regulatory implications. Then you ask the key question. Which business function is accountable for the outcomes if this risk materializes? The room goes quiet. Ownership becomes clearer. The COO leans forward. Well, if the system fails, operations is impacted first. We take the customer impact. The CIO nods. And IT supports, but the business impact lands with operations. You bring it together. Then operations owns the risk. IT supports mitigation. Security provides oversight. The conflict dissolves, not because you forced a decision, but because you clarified the principles behind it. This is governance. This is leadership. This is the CISM mindset. You don't assign risk ownership. You create the structure for leaders to assign it themselves. You don't choose sides. You choose clarity. You don't silence conflict. You guide it into alignment. In the end, CISM leadership is not about authority. It's about influence. The influence to help executives see the risk clearly and to own it consciously. This concludes today's scenario in the CISM Boardroom Decision Series. If this episode strengthened your governance mindset, explore the CISM Gold Standard Series on Amazon. Your companion for real-world reasoning, boardroom clarity, and leadership mastery. New episodes uploaded regularly. Think strategically. Decide with discipline. Lead with intent.